So today I decided to dare to face my fears, dare to play, dare to show up. And so I came into the studio and I just turned on some music, and you'll see me maybe dance around a little bit. And I just got out some sheets of paper so that I wasn't intimidated by what I was creating on. And I decided to face this fear of my florals and how I wanted to see them. And so I just proceeded to try everything. And you're going to see me do that in the next few minutes. And then I'll come back and explain to you my thoughts, what I discovered, and then we will create something that is exciting for me, at least. And I can't wait to share this journey with you. Well, hello, my loves, and happy Sunday to you. Today has already been an adventure. So you've watched me kind of roam through some processes that I was just trying. I just didn't know I didn't know what I was doing. I was just trying everything and trying everything and then putting it together. And I love the results. So that is the moral of the story today. Try everything. And then there's obviously more to the story that I'll share with you in just a little bit. But I just have been playing and trying to find my way, trying to get what's in my brain out here onto the canvas or journal page, because I know what I want my flowers to look like. And today got me one step closer. So let me talk about the inspiration and what led me through this process. It's kind of, been a windy road, but that's usually the creative process. So let's take a look. So this is what you've seen me playing with. And these beauties here that I've just been this was the experiment. I'm like, I'm just going to try this and see what happens. And then the next thing was, well, what if I did this on like a because this is just a regular sheet of paper. This is porous paper. I wanted to see how the pan pastels would work with an alcohol wash. And what about if I layered? And every time I said, what if, I just did it. And then I'm like, well, I wonder how that would work on, because I loved how this looked. I said, what if I did it on gesso? Because typically I like to work on a gessoed surface. And so then that started this whole process over here. And then I was like, well, that didn't really work. What if I try this? What if I try this? And then I was like, oh. So, but what led to all of this was, and I'm going to, let's see, turn these over, I think. Just kind of get a white background. So this is these sheets, and I actually tried to order a book of his, and I just couldn't get it. So I went online and just searched for his work. This is Jorge Galindo, and he does these abstract floral pieces that they're massive. You can see here, this is him. There's 1, 2, 3. They're, 10 feet tall by 8 feet wide. They're massive. All of his projects are that way. But these are his florals. And there was something in them that I was drawn to. Now, they're too free for me. And this is part of that discovery process of finding what and how you want to create, is knowing, wow, that's true freedom, but it's too free for me. It's not my thing. So this is the colors are interesting. And I'm going to zoom in just so that maybe you can see. The colors are really interesting, but the background, and this is a massive panel. This is a huge piece that he had this background blown up so that he could put it down onto the canvas. But this is an old postcard. That, I was like, okay, that's really, really interesting. I love that. And that I know how to do. It's the free flowers that I don't know how to do. And even same with this one. He has taken photos of florals and mixed them with this wild abandon of florals. And I'm like, that I can do too. And then these are just complete abstract. I don't think there's any collage in here. Not on these ones. But, you can obviously tell that they're flowers and there's leaves, but they're just completely abstract. I love them, but they're too free for me. Same with this one. So this one, let's see. I think this is part of this one, isn't it? or this is another like part of that series where there was a postcard in the background. Yeah, because there's a mountain back there. So I was like, that's really interesting. I like that. So that gave me ideas. But before I could even think about doing some florals on top of my collage, I needed to find my way through the florals. So I just decided, I'm like, okay, how can I get past this block? Why am I afraid? And I thought, I'm just going to grab my stencils to start. I just need to start somewhere. I've never been afraid to create, but because I've been so blocked and every attempt that I've tried to get free flowers just didn't feel good to me. Like they were good, but not what I wanted. Like I can see it in my brain, but I can't make my hand do it yet. And that is the key. So I thought, I'm just going to start with my stencils. So I got my stencils out and I just stenciled away. And I absolutely love this process. And I just wanted to continue to push it and push it and push it. And this is with alcohol wash. And then I would stencil with my pan pastels over it, like turn the stencil just to get different pattern within it. And I loved that. So that I could do at any time with acrylic or anything. So that was a fun discovery. Well, then I brought it over here and I did that same thing. This is my journal, and this is a gessoed piece of paper. And of course, doing an alcohol wash on that, because this is non-porous, it just kind of wiped away. So as I did that, I'm like, okay, I really liked the look on the paper. How can I get my pastels to stay? How can I get my pan pastels to stay? And I did a couple of things, and I ended up using my matte medium in this mix, just to like, okay, well, what about this? And in that process, things began to happen. And these flowers here, I absolutely love. I absolutely love them. Like this one especially. And it was just this thing where all of a sudden, as I was just like, all right, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? It didn't matter at this point. I just was trying to get something that I liked. And all of a sudden, I could see it. I could see, like, these aren't exactly what I have in mind, but they are so close. And this outline here, I'm like, why haven't I thought of that? Like what? I usually have my charcoal pencil in my hand at all times. Like, what have I been thinking? Like, I don't know. So see, and I can start dilly-dallying here and making marks and lines again and just playing. And then I was like, that is the key. That is the key to play. We're going to talk about that in a second. So I'm going to take this back. I'm going to back up just a little bit here to my wood panel, and my goal is to play. I'm going to use my pan pastels. I have a variety of colors in my pan pastels. I'm going to use my soft pastels. I'm going to create a messy background, and that was another thing that I did too, was after I'd kind of played here, I turned the page and started playing with backgrounds. And I was experimenting with my colored pencils, not soft pastel, but colored pencils. And I got some really great ideas for that. And if you're a Mixed Media Insider member, this tutorial will be available for you in the Backstage Pass. But so I'm going to create something similar, that background, something similar on here, kind of wild and free, and then do my flowers. And I'm going to use my stencils. I'm going to try to recreate everything that I did. And I wrote it down. I wrote down what I used so that I could kind of remember. And we'll see how it goes. But I have 4 flower stencils out here. And it turns out that I kind of like the ones with the larger petals. We'll see. So I've got 4 of those out here. And then I've got a couple of simple pattern stencils for the background. Maybe even the flowers. Who knows? But we'll see when we get there. All of the stencils that I used today will be on sale. And the link to all of the supplies and everything will be down below in the link to the blog is down below in the YouTube description box. So I know that I'm going to be using unbleached titanium, my gesso as my white, magenta, and possibly a little bit of this kind of dark blue or Payne's gray blue. I have raw umber ready to go. And of course black. But I really want to try to stick to using my pastels in a different way along with my pencils and stuff like that. That is my goal anyway, to kind of be wild and free. Okay, I think that is all of the supplies that I know right now. Again, everything will be listed on the blog, and the link to the blog is down below in the YouTube description box. Okay, so today, let's just talk about today. And when I had this moment of, the key is in the playing and trying and doing and risking and making a mess and not worrying about the outcome and being okay with it not being okay. Being okay with it looking terrible. And just showing up here and, it could have taken me 20 tries and I would have continued to try. And I'm not saying that what I did today is where I want to be, but it's closer. And that is the process of finding our own voice and finding our own style and finding new ways to create and fresh new ideas. And all of that is to make ugly art, to make a mess, to make it just be, and turn the page and go, well, that didn't work. That's the only way that I know that I will get to the other side of this crazy block that I have with my flowers. It's the only way that I know that I will find how I want to create. And then, of course, as I was reading this week and during my devotional time, I came across this quote from Maya Angelou, which she's one of my favorites. She says, I believe that the most important single thing beyond discipline, which means showing up, and creativity, doing something, is daring to dare. And I thought, it just stopped me. It's one of those ones where you're just like, I'm daring to dare. That's what I want for this whole year. To dare to dare. I'll dare to show up here and have a really awful piece for you. I will dare to show up and whatever it may be. But the worst thing that I could do is not dare. To be stagnant. To do nothing. And I have played it safe, like I've said over and over, for far too long. And I want to dare. And I want you to come with me. I want you, and especially in creativity. But what about the other areas of your life? What can you dare to do today? Dare to dare. Dare to say the speech. Dare to do the exercise. Dare to say I love you. Dare to ask for forgiveness. Dare to whatever it may be. Dare to dare. That's going to be the title of this piece. Dare to dare. I want to do it as much as possible in every single day. Time is short. I'm just getting older faster. All right, my loves. I hope your Sunday is restful and peaceful. I hope you dare to dare today. I hope we both dare to create something messy and beautiful and awful and grungy and all of the things all at once and whenever. Dare to dare. And I hope that you always, always know that you are loved.